when it comes to our desires, subhanAllah, what you find is that sabr with our desires, patience with our desires, is a very specific type of patience. And it's often a sabr عند أول الشهوة. That's not a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, but it's comparable in the sense that patience with your desires is when the desire first grows, when you first have the impulse, when you first have the inclination to do something. You know, when you think about it, the Prophet ﷺ, when he used to wake up for prayer, and I'm not going to take a poll here how you get up for Fajr, but some of you know how you get up for Fajr. Some of you know how it's not تتجافى جنوبهم عن المضاجع. You're not fighting your bed, you're fighting your phone, you're fighting your alarm clock, and you're just going right back to sleep. The Prophet ﷺ was described as wathaba. He jumped up sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because you and I both know, that when that alarm goes off, the shahwa of sleep is so sweet. Sweet to me right now too, by the way. So nice to sleep. Some of you are like, I'm enjoying the sleep so much right now. When people come up to me and say, I listen to you at night when I want to go to sleep, I'm like, so you're saying I put you to sleep, right? So it's kind of insulting, but I'll take it as a compliment, right? But you know that when the alarm first goes off, you have a choice to make: the shahwa of sleep or the call to prayer. Overcome the desire to go back to sleep or the call to prayer. Now, if you don't get up at that moment right away, there is a good chance you're going to miss Fajr. If you don't fight that initial inclination, there's a good chance you're going to miss Fajr. So the Prophet ﷺ, what was he described as? He was like a lion sallallahu alaihi wasallam. SubhanAllah, the hypocrites are وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالًا. When they get up for prayer, they're so lazy, dragging their feet. Do I really have to do this again? Is it already dhuhr? Is it already asr? Is it already maghrib? Really? Already? Again? Rasulullah ﷺ hurried to the prayer. He was ready. He was activated towards the prayer. So he overcame the desire to sleep. He overcame the desire to eat. He overcame the desire to relax after a hard day of work. He overcame that because the salah was called. I've got to go to prayer now. He jumped towards the salah. Most of us are on a spectrum between qamu kusala and wathaba. Getting up like the hypocrites or getting up like the Prophet ﷺ. Where are you on that spectrum? Now, the initial strike, the initial moment of your desire is the most important moment. عند أول الشهوة. What do I mean by that as well? Even if you think about physical things, okay? How many times do you say, I'm just going to have a small bite? And that small bite becomes what? You eat the whole meal and the plate too. What happened to the small bite? Because once you took that first bite, it was over. That was it. You want to go to the gym. All right, I got 10 minutes. If I don't go to the gym right now and work out, then there's no way I'm going to work out. You're right. Once you said, maybe a little bit later, you're not getting up to work out. There's no exercise happening today. But then to make it a little bit more towards that which is sinful in terms of our desire, in the beginning of the sin, you have the angels that are prompting you to not commit that sin. You have the shayateen that are prompting you to commit that sin. If you allow yourself to start, likely in order to enjoy the shahwa, to enjoy the desire, to enjoy the pleasure of that sin, you're going to try to shut off any voice that tells you about consequence because you want to enjoy it right now. So shut it off. That's why there's a powerful hadith where the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, إِذَا ذُكِرْتُمْ بِاللَّهِ فَانْتَهُوا. When you're reminded of Allah, stop right there. Stop. You have to learn to control the initial impulse. And in one narration, and even if there is a weakness in the chain, الْعَجَلَةُ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ. Haste is from the devil. وَالتَّأَنِّي. Being very calculated about what you're doing is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The beginning of the shahwa, the beginning of the desire. You get into an argument. The desire, my desire is I want to punch you in the face. Not you, by the way, I don't want to punch you in the face. But like my desire is I'm ready to jump. I'm ready to fight. If I'm able to just be quiet and say, I'm not going to engage, let me cool down and not engage, I likely have won that bout with the shaitan. But if I immediately, or if I start, I likely am not going to finish. Throw the first word, throw the first punch, it's a fight at that point. You fail to resist the shahwa to respond, the desire to respond at that moment. So controlling yourself at the first moment of desire is like controlling yourself at the first moment of hardship. If you're able to conquer yourself in that moment, then you are likely able to conquer the course as well.